Wow, well, I wasn't expecting this. The first season of X-Men 97 has concluded, and I feel very confident in saying that this is the best thing Marvel has made in the post-game era, and in fact, I think it's up there with the best stuff Marvel has ever released. Now, when the show was initially announced, I wasn't all that hyped or interested because, truthfully, any Marvel show on Disney Plus comes with a lot of skepticism for me nowadays, because it always feels half-baked, thrown together, and never given enough time to breathe. It feels more like a product to garner subscribers than to actually tell an intriguing story. And with X-Men 97, it felt like nostalgia bait to me. Now I realize that Marvel is finally starting to bring the X-Men back into the fold and add them to the MCU, so I understood why they'd revive such a classic part of their history, but I don't think I can blame anyone, including myself, for being a bit skeptical. But oh my goodness! X-Men 97 is everything you want from a Marvel show and more. Excellent writing, compelling characters, and more shockingly, no holding back when it comes to some of the darker themes in this story. X-Men 97 is fantastic. Now, the X-Men and I haven't really had much history. Growing up, I was always more interested in Marvel's other heroes. I barely watched the original X-Men show from the 90s and was more interested in Spider-Man the animated series. I remember getting some X-Men toys from Burger King in the early 2000s and was excited to get a Cyclops and Toad because I thought they looked cool. And of course, I liked all the Hugh Jackman X-Men movies growing up, but fortunately or unfortunately for some, when I thought of the X-Men, I only ever pictured Wolverine, Professor X, or Magneto. And as I grew up, I learned that the X-Men are so much more than just Hugh Jackman and Wolverine. In fact, there was once a time where the X-Men were the thing propping Marvel up, and heroes like Iron Man and Captain America were B tier. Funny how times change. But now with the reintroduction of the X-Men, and especially X-Men 97, I think that we may see the return of the X-Men being Marvel's top-tier heroes. Initially, I wasn't really planning on making a review for the show, let alone watching it anytime soon. But after seeing the great reception it was getting online, I figured I'd check it out. Now I understand that this is pretty much a continuation of the original series from the 90s, but I don't remember anything about that show because I never watched it completely. Sure, I watched some reruns here and there, but it was only if it was before or after an episode of the Spider-Man show. So I went into 97 knowing pretty much nothing about the backstory, and thankfully X-Men 97 does a great job for even new viewers who have no connection to the original. I'm sure I didn't pick up on certain details and callbacks to the old show, but I was following the story just fine, and after about 3 episodes, I was thinking to myself,
This is some good shit.
And then, episode 5 happened. This isn't some kid's cartoon, this is some deep and compelling stuff. Like I said earlier, there was no holding back. An episode so good that it even made this guy shed some tears. I'm confident in saying that no part of the original show got this dark or heartbreaking, right? I mean, didn't the original show never show Wolverine stabbing or using his claws against others? So yeah, even though this is a continuation of that, 97 ups the violence and storytelling in every aspect. From beginning to end, this felt like what we all expected every Disney Plus show to be like. And even though this is an animated show, its quality is movie-like. It feels important and made with love and passion for all these characters. And speaking of characters, this show made me love the X-Men now more than I ever have before. But what I always pictured the X-Men being is not what this show is. Wolverine takes a back seat throughout the show, and hey, I'm not complaining. Cyclops, Jean, Storm, Rogue. And all the members of the team have their moment to shine, but the biggest standout to me was Magneto. Now, I know Magneto. He's one of the greatest anti-villains in the Marvel Universe, but I especially love him because of his backstory. Even though he does some messed up things from time to time, I've always understood where he's coming from. To be a part of the Holocaust and lose your family to the Nazis and have others look at you and your family as lesser than, only for you to then be a mutant and have the cycle repeat as humans look down on mutants, is compelling stuff. And X-Men 97 delivers that backstory and character depth in amazing fashion. Now, of course, I've seen the scene in the original show where Charles makes Magneto relive the Holocaust in order for him to stop his madness. And also, side note, how's this possible? Magneto's wearing his helmet. Anyway, but the way X-Men 97 deals with Magneto's pain and trauma throughout the whole season is just perfection. And it resonates on an emotional level that the original show, as well as the other Marvel 90s cartoons, never, ever reached. But altogether, every member of the team gets their moment, and out of every X-Men media I've seen, none have made me love all these characters more than X-Men 97. The last thing I would like to touch on is the animation for the show. Now, I've been saying that I think Invincible is the best superhero show going on right now, but the animation has never been one of its strong points. But with X-Men 97, I thought the animation was incredible. It looks similar enough to the original show while also putting a modern spin to it, but overall though, every aspect of the animation really added to the quality of it all. Not only are the action scenes big and cinematic, but even the dialogue-heavy scenes have a lot more emotion to them, especially episode 5 with Magneto and Rogue. It all just comes together to create a fantastic show that would probably be even better on the big screen. I would definitely pay for that. Now I do have one concern moving forward. Before the first episode aired, the creator and lead writer for X-Men 97, Beau DeMaio, was fired. Now, nothing has come out to why he was let go, and even though it's a bit odd, I can't help but be a little worried that maybe season 2 won't have the same quality because the original creator and writer won't be a part of it. I'm sure Marvel knows of the success X-Men 97 is already having, so I only hope that the quality remains the same moving forward, because oh boy, does this show leave us with an awesome cliffhanger and potential stories, and I can't wait to see what's next. But overall, I think X-Men 97 is one of my favorite things Marvel has ever made. It's that good, and worth a watch for anyone, especially those who may feel apathetic to anything Marvel nowadays. From the writing, animation, characters, voice acting, and overall story, it gave me everything I want in a superhero tale and then some. It felt fresh, got shockingly deep at times, and has now made me a full-on X-Men fan. So even though I may be a little worried about the quality going forward because of the creator and head writer being dismissed, once the new season arrives, I'll be right there, day one, to see the next adventure for these X-Men. I give X-Men 97 a 5 out of 5.